Good evening, my fellow Americans. This is the 2nd of November edition of A Quiet Rage. First of all, I want to say, if you're gonna downvote my video, at least be brave enough to tell me in the comments why. Just, you know. Anyway. So that's one. Two, look, if you're MAGA, just go ahead and skip ahead to the time stamp that I'm going to put right here, because the conversation that we're about to have, the topic that we're going to discuss briefly here, involves context and nuance and cultural literacy, as well as just regular literacy, and things like, optics and empathy. Anyway, so go ahead and skip to the timestamp there. All right, now that they're gone, the reasonable people in the room, let's talk about number two, just briefly. The Trump administration, or the Trump, really, had a Halloween party at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe you've seen some of the pictures. The theme of the party was The Great Gatsby, or A Little Party Never Hurt Anybody, or something like that. First of all, the guy couldn't even be bothered to put on a bow tie instead of a regular necktie, or, a fun hat. Like, he just went to the party. There was no costume involved. Like, could you be a bigger stick in the mud? I don't, just, it's not hard. Anyway. So, I don't know why, was there nobody at Mar-a-Lago? Is there nobody on Trump's staff that said, hold on, maybe we could have a different theme. Maybe The Great Gatsby is not a good theme for a bunch of rich people getting together. There's just too many parallels that are just too easy to draw. Gatsby, after all, was a fraud. He was a crook. He made his money, what money he had, through dealings with some rather nefarious people. Nick, at one point, is introduced to a shady character. Nick Carraway, the author, not the author, but the narrator of our story of The Great Gatsby. He's a character as well as a narrator. And Gatsby takes him to a party, and he accidentally meets with a rather shady character, and Gatsby's like, no, this is not him. This is not that friend. Like, at least Gatsby has the, wherewithal to keep Nick clean. But, I mean, it's like, Trump hung around and or hangs around with people like Jeffrey Epstein and Peter Thiel and Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller. Like, bad people. Like, he's famous for not paying contractors for work that they did on his buildings. Elon Musk, a person that has no moral compass whatsoever. It's too easy, right? I mean, Gatsby's a fake, which Trump is as well. Let's all take out our copy of The Great Gatsby and turn to page 179. I couldn't forgive him or like him. This is this is Nick, our narrator, talking about Tom Buchanan. I couldn't forgive him or like him, but I saw that what he had done was, to him, entirely justified. It was all very careless and confused. They were careless people, Tom and Daisy. They smashed up things and creatures and then retreated back into their money or their vast carelessness or whatever it was that kept them together and let other people clean up the mess they had made. That remind you of anybody? Just saying. And the other thing, like the story, The Great Gatsby, it takes place in 1922, right? Just when the jazz age was really getting going, the Roaring Twenties had started, and like what nobody in the story knew, and not even the author F. Scott Fitzgerald didn't know either when he wrote and published the book, was that the 20s were going to come to a crashing end and the economy was going to tank. And right now we have some very ugly numbers stacking up. Economic numbers. Like, we are watching a slow train wreck, and it's gonna get worse. And I mean, maybe you could forgive them for this as a theme because they wanted to honor the fact that it's 100 years since the book was first published in 1925. But it's very much a let them eat cake sort of a moment. I mean, this is what Congress has done in the last 3 months. I'm sure that some Republican Congress representatives and senators were at this party. I can just about guarantee it. They got paid thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars for that, to work those days. Anyway, okay, so now MAGA, you will have rejoined us. We're on our third topic. And normally I wouldn't try to engage in this sort of thing, because what I'm going to do is needle you on one particular topic, but I'll explain why when we get to the end. I've heard many people who belong to MAGA or just refer to themselves as conservatives or Republicans, they say some version of, I quote, not $1 for foreign aid while there is a single homeless veteran in America, unquote. That sentiment has been, I have seen it, I have read it, I have heard it many, many times. So, I don't hear a lot of complaining from MAGA or conservatives or Republicans about the $20 billion bailout that the federal government is giving to Argentina right now. It's crickets as far as I know. I mean, I haven't heard anything. Now, we could argue somewhere else whether this bailout is justified or not. I mean, Argentina's economy is in a bad way right now, partly because of this guy. Not the guy with the chainsaw this time. It's the guy behind him. That's Milei. That's their prime minister. Yeah. Anyway, so while that is going on, while we're sending $20 billion to Argentina, the Trump administration is ending what are called assistance grants. And in particular, there is one that is really harmful to the cause of homeless veterans in this country, in America. There's a nonprofit, I believe it's a nonprofit, there's an organization called Keys to Change. And one of the things that they do is they provide a way for people that do not have a physical address to receive mail. Now, to us, to anybody with a house, that might seem, I mean, you just walk out to your mailbox and it's there. You don't have to do anything. Well, obviously, if you don't have a house, if you don't have a physical address, you cannot receive mail. Last year, I'm going to link there's an article on ProPublica where I'm getting all this information. Last year, Keys to Change spent $24,000 of our taxpayer money to help approximately 20,000 people at a cost per person of $12 per person. You, the taxpayer, we, the taxpayers, spent $12 a person in this program, Keys to Change, to try and prevent people from becoming homeless, losing their homes, losing their apartments, or break the cycle of homelessness for people that are already living on the streets. $12 a person. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. I don't know, that seems like good value for money. $12 a year. That's $1 a month. I mean, now, when asked, so in particular, the assistance grant that helps fund this program, this mail program, has gone away. So now, Keys to Change they're going to fundraise on their own, and they're going to try and keep this program running, but they don't, I mean, this was a lot of money, and they do other things, and, you know, they don't want to stop doing this program because it's very breaking the cycle of homelessness. Being able to receive mail is very important to breaking that cycle. Now, when asked for comment, when asked why, an administration official or representative told ProPublica that the nearby post office is, quote, able to fully serve the community, unquote. Well, that's partly true. The local post office, yes, can serve people that have homes, people that live in apartments, people that have a mailbox or a physical address, people that have government-issued IDs, something that people who are homeless don't have quite often. I mean, if you're getting kicked out of your house, or if you're having, you know, mental issues, or if you're using drugs, taking your ID when you're getting kicked out might not be, you know, making sure that you got your passport on you might not be something that you're really paying attention to. And people that are homeless get robbed. Actually, a lot. It's part of the poverty cycle. People that are homeless will rob each other. And things get thrown away, things get tossed, because what is an ID to somebody who is living in a tent under an overpass? What do I need this for? So, in order to try and break the cycle of homelessness, poverty being both a symptom and a cause of homelessness, having a physical address, being able to actually receive mail is exceedingly important to breaking that cycle. You can't get a job not a real job, without an address. And why do I bring this up? Why am I poking at you? Because, as I said, these funds have gone away. So these thousands of people that have been receiving mail, trying to break that cycle of homelessness, they may not have that as an option anymore. So if you're MAGA, if you're conservative, or if you're a Republican, I challenge you. Call your representative, call your congressman or your senator, and let them know that these assistance grants need to be put back into place. We need to be funding programs like this, because if this program helped 20,000 people, 7,000 just last year, I guarantee you the number of veterans in that group is not zero. So a program that's going to help a veteran either stay in a home or break the cycle of homelessness has gone away on your watch. So call your representative, call your congressman, call your senator. Let them know that this needs to stay in being. Go to the website, which I will put the link for in the description, for Keys to Change. Donate some money to them, or find a program local to you. This one's in Phoenix. Keys to Change is based in Phoenix. Find a program close to you and send a couple of bucks, or find a place that you can volunteer. Put your money where your mouth is. If you really, really actually believe what you say, that we should not spend any money on foreign aid while there is one homeless veteran, prove it. Go ahead. Prove it. Because I don't believe a lot of you. I just don't. And this apparently is a tentpole issue for a lot of you, which is why I'm needling you on it. I don't necessarily feel like I should be the one to pick the issues that you care about, but this seems to be an issue that a lot of you care about. So I'm saying, prove it. Go ahead, MAGA. Prove it. Make some phone calls. Do some volunteering. Donate a couple of bucks. Prove it. And for the rest of us, the same applies. This is, $24,000 a year to help 20,000 people. Again, that seems like pretty good value for money for me. So, if, like me, you want to see MAGA put their money where their mouth is, then keep your powder dry and keep your quiet rage. Good night, my fellow Americans.